Hello, good afternoon to everyone. Well, it's been a while since I last recorded intermediate advanced videos. So today I'm beginning to record again, right? To continue the legacy of my intermediate advanced series. Don't forget, I have a playlist for intermediate and advanced students, which is entirely in English, and another one which is the basic level, which is described and explained in Portuguese, but of course it's still an English course, okay? So what will we study today? The last video I recorded, as far as I'm concerned, was about reported speech. So this video we will talk about questions, right? It's an entirely new topic, okay? So let's get going. Well, we have talked about it before, but it's never enough to emphasize. When you make questions in English, you put the subject after the verb. So the verb comes first. For example, Ted will be working today. This is not a question, right? It's an affirmative sentence. So if I want to make a question out of it, I have to put the verb in the beginning of the sentence. So, will Ted be working today? Okay, so it's pretty easy. Which verb tense is this? This is the future, right? But as you can see, it's a future continuous, right? You have the verb will plus the verb to be, a bare infinitive without to, plus the main verb followed by ing. And when you when you use the future tense, you must be aware that the will is capable of making questions alone. You can use it in negative sentences and affirmative sentences as well. It has the same behavior as verbs like verb may, verb might, even the verb to be, right? Can, could, and so forth, right? I don't remember everything right now, but you have it covered. Another example, when you make questions, when you use the present perfect tense, you put the verb have in the beginning of the sentence. For example, I have worked hard lately. Remember this verb tense. This is the present perfect tense in which I use an adverb of time to express that this verb tense has a connection with the present, okay? So it means it's present related, it began in the past, and it's still related to the present. I have worked hard lately. It means that I'm tired now, right? So it has a strict connection with the present tense. So if I want to make a question out of it, I have to put the verb first. Have you worked hard? Have you worked hard lately? So when giving a short answer, you know that I use yes, I have. No, I haven't. As the verb have here isn't an auxiliary verb, so remember, the present perfect tense has this structure, the verb to have or has, depending on the subject, plus a verb in the past participle. So when giving an answer in short answers, I use the verb have to answer in the affirmative mode and negative mode. And if I want to give complete answers, I use them as well, okay? It's pretty easy. Now, let's see the simple past. The simple past of the verb to be, let's just remember, a quick reminder. I was, he was, she was, it was. So, this is how we change the verb to be in the past. And we use the were for you, we, they. So it's pretty simple, right? This is the verb to be in the past. When making questions using the verb to be, I have to put the verb to be in the beginning of the sentence as well, right? Were you tired of working late? Right? I work late all the time and someone asked me, are you tired of working late? Of course I am. I was, right? So if I want to give answers out of this, I use yes, I was. No, I wasn't. And if I want to give complete answers, I say, yes, I was tired of working late. I talked to my boss and I made an agreement with him saying that I'm not supposed to be working late anymore. Or no, I wasn't, right? So this structure is pretty simple. Just making another reminder. How do we make questions in the present tense with verbs that require auxiliary verb? Do and does are employed in the present tense, whereas did is employed in the past tense. So, does he live in London? Right? This is the first case that we study here, that the main verb, the main verb of the sentence is not able to make questions alone. It requires an auxiliary verb to make questions. So I use does because as we have already studied previously, for he, she, or it, I use does to make questions. If I want to give short answers, I say, yes, he does. Does. No, he doesn't. Pretty easy, isn't it? If I want to give complete answers, you must be aware that in affirmative form, I don't use auxiliary verb. So, yes, he lives in London. Okay? I add s after the verb, right? In the present tense for he, she, or it, I don't use the auxiliary verb for complete answers, and I add s to a verb followed by he, she, or it. Or no, he doesn't live in London. So as you can see, he doesn't live. I use an auxiliary verb in the negative tense, and the main verb doesn't come with an s, okay? So that's the pattern. We have already studied this, but it's just a quick review of the verb tenses that we are covering here. And last but not least, we will see today about the past tense. The past tense requires the auxiliary verb did, okay? Did he stop smoking? Okay? So, stop isn't capable of making questions on its own. So I need an auxiliary verb to make questions. I put did in the front of the sentence in the beginning, and the main verb comes in the infinitive tense. It's the same logic that we employ in the present tense, right? In which the main verb of the sentence comes in the infinitive form. So when I give an answer, a short answer, for example, I say, yes, he did. No, he didn't. Right? Stop. After the verb stop, if you add another verb just after, the verb that comes after the verb stop has to be followed by ing. But be aware, this is not continuous tense, right? This is just a rule in which you have to memorize. We have a variety of verbs in which after them, the next verb comes with ing added. So pay attention to this. Giving short answers is very straightforward, okay? But when you give complete answers in the affirmative tense, affirmative mode, you have to remember that we have regular verbs and irregular verbs. Stop is a regular verb in which you have a sequence of consonant, vowel, consonant. You have to double the last consonant before adding ed. So the regular verbs comes with ed, okay? So yes, he stopped smoking. So in affirmative tense, I have to add ed, right? The negative making questions require did, but affirmative answers don't require did, okay? And it's wrong if you write did, okay? You just have to drop the auxiliary verb because it's not necessary here. But when giving negative sentences, you have to write with didn't. He didn't stop smoking. Although I highly recommended him to stop smoking, he didn't stop smoking. So you use didn't, the auxiliary verb in the negative tense, and the main verb in the infinitive form, okay? So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. There will be many more videos. We have a lot to cover regarding advanced, intermediate, and advanced grammar, okay? So have a nice day.